Brain tumor survivors can experience a lot of different signs of acquired brain injury, including some of these cognitive and physical effects. One of the most common ones that we talk about is memory loss, especially short-term memory, which Dr. Gordon did speak about earlier. There's also difficulty sometimes with processing or retaining new information. Changes in problem-solving skills. Diminished ability with mathematics, which Linda mentioned also in her presentation. Distractions from sensory input, noise, lights, crowd, background movement, other kinds of ordinary activities that don't bother most people. Changes in coordination, balance, and agility as well. Now, acquired brain injury, a neuropsychological evaluation and testing can be a fabulous way to document many of these functional changes related to brain tumors, neurosurgery, and/or radiation treatments. I'm so glad that Dr. Gordon started out as our first speaker this evening to give an overview about that, because this testing is so valuable and can be valuable even years after your brain tumor diagnosis and treatment. Cognitive deficits, impaired memory, fine and gross motor skill deficiencies, changes in information processing, verbal and communicative disorders, and other symptoms of acquired brain injury can be related to brain tumors and their treatments. Now, some examples of coping skills for cognitive changes include, first of all, reducing and eliminating distractions when possible. Being aware of self-care needs. I love that Dr. Gordon was talking about the effect of fatigue, because obviously that can have a big impact, but also limiting other kinds of circumstances that can worsen your symptoms, such as hunger, stress, trying to do things in a hurry, doing things in an unfamiliar setting. Using reminders such as lists, notes, calendars, Post-its. I wish I had invested in Post-its many years ago. Recorded messages, using a tape recorder, an answering machine, your voicemail, other kinds of memory aids. Simplifying tasks whenever possible, dividing them into smaller segments and then focusing on one piece of a task at a time. And of course, cognitive rehabilitation can be very helpful in some cases, as both Dr. Gordon and Linda were discussing. Some daily coping suggestions would include, first of all, being aware of your limitations and planning accordingly. Planning more challenging tasks when you're well rested and when your energy level is higher. Being sure to take regular breaks during the day, giving yourself both a mental and a physical change in your routine. Writing down information or instructions when possible. Repeating things to yourself and to others so you can confirm that you heard correctly and also that you understood the details. Limiting multitasking or other situations where your attention can be divided. Some other coping techniques include keeping a things to-do list, referring to it through the day so that you keep on track. Some people like to add reminders and alarms to their cell phone for reminders to take medication, for appointments, for other things that they need to know about. Avoiding noisy or busy environments when possible, especially when you're trying to do a complicated task. Putting things where you can see them. This next suggestion is one that I'm thinking about my friend and colleague Jessie, because she has a whiteboard in our office. A whiteboard or a bulletin board to keep track of important tasks and provide visible reminders. And other kinds of visual prompts, like the Post-its, can also be helpful. Now, in social situations, sometimes there are difficulties, and helping to deal with this would include things like focusing on small group or one-to-one activities. Sometimes people have difficulty in a big group, but they can handle a small conversation or just a one-to-one interaction. Asking people to repeat things, or asking them to speak slowly or help you keep on track in some way. Being sure that important discussions take place away from distracting environments. Keeping eye contact when you're speaking with people. If you need something to be said in a different way or explained, don't hesitate or be shy about asking that person to do it. And planning in advance for parties or other large events where you think you might lose track of what you're doing or your train of thoughts. Now, I'm sure it will come as no surprise that cognitive challenges can have an effect on relationships. Sometimes this can be difficult for other people to understand and accept, especially because the symptoms can be unpredictable. And these changes can sometimes place strain on relationships. By being open about the challenges that you're experiencing and sharing your experiences, you can help friends and family members be more understanding. Support groups can be very helpful. Finding others with similar challenges can reduce feelings of isolation. So here are some suggestions about how to talk about what's going on. You might say something like, I'm having difficulty listening to what you're saying with the TV on in the background. Can you mute it? Or you could say, I wish I could stay here and talk with you, but I need to take a break right now. Or, this restaurant is too noisy for me to have a conversation. Can we find another place to have lunch instead? Or even, I'm doing the best I can. Thank you for your patience. So here are some more ideas about restoring attention. Cognitive therapy is obviously a means of improving attention and concentration. Other coping techniques include increasing contact with the natural environment, including walking or sitting outdoors, spending time with pets, gardening or tending indoor plants, enjoying knitting, needlework, or other crafts. Basically, any relaxing activity where you lose track of time can help you focus attention more effectively. So I'm wishing you all very good health, and again, thank you for being here.